Okay. Ralph is my father's name. Joseph is my grandfather's name. I think Mark remembers this. At that time, having the name Ralph was not cool in school. It basically meant barfing. So I decided to go by Joe. And I don't know, it just stuck with me. And as far as Dennis is my business partner. He is an accomplished bass player, website designer. He's from New York City. He's a long-haired guy. He plays in a lot of local San Diego bands, reggae bands. We actually played in some bands together. Um, he's just a great guy. He doesn't know anything about this stuff at all.
Joe, thank you for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and discuss this issue. I'm sure that you were just minding your own business when I emailed you and said, hey, would you be willing to come on and talk? Could you just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got involved with the company Metatron and what your role is in that company?
Sure. Thanks for inviting me on your show. Hi, Mark. Basically, I approached Mark a few years ago because I noticed Flat Earth was trending highly on YouTube, and we were testing a new business model. Oh, by the way, I'm the CEO of Metatron Incorporated. Our app division is called iMobilize, and we've been around for about 9 years. Anyway, we wanted to test a business model where we would convert free subscribers, YouTube subscribers, to paid subscribers. We didn't see this demonetization avalanche coming, but we felt that a lot of these channels could be making a lot more money. For example, I'm a personal fan of Mark's show. I thought it was entertaining. I'm flat Earth agnostic. But it was a very entertaining show, kind of like a Coast to Coast. I like conspiracies, and I never thought I'd be part of one, but hey, that's fine. And Mark is also a kind of a historian, and he has opinions on all kinds of things besides Flat Earth. So I said, well, why don't we make a website for your diehard fans to listen to some of your other ideas, like on JFK or World War II. And, it did okay, but we also tested out with some fitness channels and yoga, and that's what we're primarily into. We do, our biggest app was Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. We sold 20 million books. That was probably our most famous app that we did. And, Mark and I are similar ages. We have similar backgrounds. But we are not the same person, I must say. Maybe brothers from different mothers, but we are not the same person. So I will just let everyone know that. more questions or?
Yeah, I think I've got a ton of different questions, and a lot of people have come to me with questions, and some of them I couldn't quite explain, and then some of them I figured out on my own. I was able to debunk the MGTV video within maybe 40 seconds while sitting in my car on my cell phone. Number one, because I know I'm innocent of everything that I'm charged of, so right away I don't have an issue with it. But I was trying to look at it from the perspective of somebody from the outside. One of the accusations, obviously, we've determined that Ralph Joseph Real is you, and it's not Mark. Mark is not Ralph, Mark is not Joe, and Mark is not Joseph. It's all one person. But there's another person that you're partnered with. Can you tell us about that person?
Okay. Ralph is my father's name. Joseph is my grandfather's name. I think Mark remembers this. At that time, having the name Ralph was not cool in school. It basically meant barfing. So I decided to go by Joe. And I don't know, it just stuck with me. And as far as Dennis is my business partner. He is an accomplished bass player, website designer. He's from New York City. He's a long-haired guy. He plays in a lot of local San Diego bands, reggae bands. We actually played in some bands together. He's just a great guy. He doesn't know anything about this stuff at all. Just doesn't even pay attention to YouTube at all. He just likes to play his music and tour around town and chill at his house. And he's really good at accounting and paperwork and all the stuff I don't like to do. So that's basically it. He's a long-term business partner and friend, and that's the story of Dennis Sluka.
Dennis Sluka. Okay, so we've determined that part. Now, you're a musician too. Some people have been trying to find out who you are and have found a couple of different musicians. Which is the one that is you?
Okay, so there's three Joe. I was in a band called Emote. That's probably my most famous band. And we played with Blink-182 and STP and Third Eye Blind, but we never made it big. And I decided to go solo, like most singers do in bands, and I decided to use my name Joe Real, but no one could really spell it, so I used R-E-A-L. It's kind of like a stage name, like Sting, Gordon Sumner, etc. And it turns out there's 3 Joe Reals on iTunes right now. I was the first. There's one guy that's a rapper. I don't know who he is. And now there's a new guy who's really good. I wish it was my music. It's kind of jazzy, tropical, bossa nova type of stuff. He probably has 12 or 13 tracks on there. Right now I have about 3 songs, and I am coming out with a new album. It's going to be totally different than what I used to do. But that's the story. I haven't trademarked my name yet. I probably should get on that. And I consider myself the real Joe Real.
But have you bought your website yet? Have you bought your website domain yet? That's the real question.
You know what? Let me double check that. I need to. I think I bought Joe Real Inc. But maybe not Joe Real, but spelled my German R-I-E-H-L.
So are you an app company primarily, or a website company, or both?
Kind of both, but most of our revenue is from apps.
I will address anything when it comes to this. I will let me give you a backstory real quick. I saw in fact, because I scan, you know me, I mean, all day, every day, I'm looking at YouTube videos and looking at anything in the Flat Earth community. I just type in Flat Earth nonstop, you know, filter by everything. And I saw the MGTV video when it first came out. And honestly, look, I get at least 2 hit pieces on me a month since the middle of 2015. Every month, it's like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I have been a lot of... So when I saw this, I was like, yeah, it didn't really do much for me. It's like, yeah, I mean, I get it. It's kind of a big leap, big connect the dot, you know, especially with the dates. But it's like, all right, yeah, you can run with that. And I didn't think much of it until ODD decided he was going to use that as his vehicle to escape the conference, to leave it. I could tell right away, you know, by his comments, he did not want to be there at the conference. And there's no way a man with 100,000 subs, after his channel had been destroyed more than once, and a big internet presence, is going to let me chase him off. The long and the short is this. The marksargent.com thing. This is, I give you the step-by-step on how that happened. I get calls all the time from people that want to do stuff. And sometimes they ask permission, sometimes they don't, sometimes they ask forgiveness after the fact. These guys out of San Diego, in fact, it was really one guy I was talking to, his name was Joe Real, R-E-I-H-L. He doesn't go by Ralph. He goes by his middle name, Joe. Like my dad goes by Ken, his middle name. His first name's actually George. And he goes, hey, we'd like to do marksargent.com. Would you mind letting us do that for you? And I was like, yeah, sure. Do I need to do anything? You know me, I'm busy. It's like, do I have to do anything? And he goes, no. Just give us links from the YouTube stuff. Give us permission. We'll buy the domain. And, you know, we'll split the money with you. And it's like, whatever money we make. It's like, fine, that sounds great, wonderful. And I had nothing to do with web design. I literally, you know, they bought the domain, did all that stuff. And that was literally in the beginning of 2016. And I was under some obligation to them. That, you know, I basically promised. I said, look, I will help you. I'll make sure I deliver as much content as I can and send you the links on a regular basis for about the next year. And that ran out in the beginning of 2017. You know, March, April, something like that.
So, Ed, I'm not a fan of you. I just want to say that up front.
Okay.
How are you affiliated with Metatron?
I am not affiliated with Metatron. Metatron built marksargent.com.
You are not affiliated with Metatron.
No, I do not.
Okay.
I'm not.
So you do not know Ralph Real.
No. I know him. They built the website back in 2016.
He's the CEO of Metatron. So you don't know him. He pays for your website. He pretty much bought the Mark Sargent brand.
Oh boy, you're just gonna roll with this, aren't you? There we go.